What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Connie. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. You already know what this is. This is Greenleaf season 3, episode 4, the Underdog. This was an action-packed episode. Kept looking at the clock thinking, oh, it's got to be, about to be over, and it was like 30 minutes in. It was like 38 minutes in. So this episode was action-packed. This lipstick is an homage to Miss Rachel Cross, who had old nasty dog purple lip on. Okay, so let's talk about this whole Underdog episode. We see Lady Mae when the show opens up. She is sitting in Pastor Patterson, Pastor Patty Patterson. Oh, P3. She's sitting in Pastor Patterson's vestibule, waiting to be taken up the elevators to her luxurious office. And most of you know that churches like this definitely exist. Looks like she had about 3 elevators, large size elevators, TVs all in the rotunda of the building. She's had books and seminars. She's like the TD Jakes of this episode, except of course she's a female. Minute she sees Mae, she cancels her masseuse. She's in this huge, luxurious desk. She's got a bay of windows. I mean, it is fit for a queen. How nice this office is. When she sees Mae, like I said, she cancels her masseuse, and they sit down and they want to talk like old girlfriends. And she tells Mae to go ahead and sit down before she falls down, because she can see that Mae is weather beaten and worn and probably still slightly hungover. Now, apparently she stays about a week in Atlanta, because we learn from, was it Jacob or Kevin? We learned from Kevin that it's been a week since the last episode. Anyway, Lady Mae tells her that her and Bishop are getting a divorce. They're separating. They're going their separate ways. And she wants to go back to school to follow her calling so that she can be a pastor and pastor her own flock. You know what I'm saying? She sees all this, and she feels like if she had gone to school at the same time Pastor Patterson had gone to school, she too could have all of this. Okay, I'm not really sure what stuff and things got to do with the calling on your life, but okay, Lady Mae, let's just move along with this. All right, so and Pastor Patterson just tells her in a very opportunistic way. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the wrong advice. I think it's important for people to look out for themselves and to be very, very smart and not just roll over and become a welcome mat. But at the same time, is this about your calling, or is this about, punishing Bishop, or, doing what's fair? And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's this all about? Because you made it seem like when you stormed out on Bishop last week and you left that little soliloquy about plucking at the thread of your absurdly constructed life, that you wanted so much more for yourself. But now, being in all of this, in the midst of all this glory and vanity at Pastor Patterson's, you have decided that you want your own church. And Pastor Patterson was like, wow, you got a perfectly good church. Why would you leave? Make him leave. Put him out. Take over that church. And Mae is like, you know what? You got an idea. I was like, Mae, what this got to do with what God has called you to do? What do any of this have to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, people like to hear themselves talk. And we see when Lady Mae goes into Pastor Patterson church, all of the rhetoric, all of the jargon that we are used to hearing, that makes us feel comforted, that makes us feel like we really sitting under somebody who hears from the Lord, is present. Okay. Later on, we see Lady May go back to the house. And she has obviously called ahead. They were supposed to have an annual round table banquet to celebrate the bishop's round table. And this is basically the board, you know, the church board. And yeah, so she has called ahead to the secretary and told her, you know, the function is on, and to go ahead and get everything set up. So when she gets back to the house, there are flowers, the tables are set up. Marisol has the sunroom decked out. They got all them dessert tiers, you know, the ones you put finger sandwiches on, and desserts. You know, they love it. They keep the place looking like La Madeleine's. It's desserts and beautiful tasty treats everywhere, and hot apple juice. Everybody got a glass of hot apple juice. This is going to be a soiree. And when Lady May goes upstairs, she see Bishop in the bedroom. He get in the shower, and she want to know what he doing there. He was like, look, they cleaned the guest bedroom. You know how people be all over the house. I didn't want to mess it up, and I get out of your way. And he goes on, and she's just like, Well, she finds out when she downstairs that Jacob is coming. And I think she just wants to impress the board and get that over and done with, and get this check from Clara and go on about her business, because they ain't got that $2 million check from Clara yet. So when she comes down the stairs and she sees Bishop with Percy Lee, and I'm gonna tell you something, my mama used to have a friend named Percy. Mary and Percy was married. My mom and them used to play cards with Mary and Percy. And so it did my heart good to hear that name, Percy. I was like, ooh, if that ain't no old school name right there. Percy. When the last time you heard somebody named Percy? So when she come down them stairs all dressed up and she see Percy, she know Bishop up to something. Bishop was like, well, shoot, he was just passing by, you know. And he actually was the one that set the two of them up. So the soiree just gets going and gets started real good. Meanwhile, let's talk about Kevin. Kevin is at that box, that little hot box he called an apartment. When he was coming down that hallway from the bedroom, I was like, all he got to do is do just like this and he gonna touch the ceiling. I was like, where did they get this little apartment from? These big old growing swole up fine behind boys don't need to be in this little hot box. It looked crazy. Anyway, him and Aaron, he been trying to get Charity on the phone, and he's upset. He is worried. He says she's on tour. He wants to call the police because he can't get her to answer, and he want to check on his baby. Aaron tells him, don't do that. You just gonna escalate the situation. Jacob and the family getting ready to go down to the soiree as well, and they taking Zora. Zora don't want to go. She being disrespectful all the way. Now he done found all that money, but you gonna go down with this ship, Zora. She being so ugly acting. And I don't know if y'all used to do this, but whenever I got caught in something, whenever I had my back up against the wall with my parents, I did not push the issue. I did not keep that attitude going. What I did was I washed the dishes, I washed the clothes, I took the trash out. You know what I'm saying? I was just like perfect little, because I was trying to avoid, you know, getting deeper into it, and I was hoping maybe they wouldn't punish me, you know what I'm saying, or punish me as harshly. But Zora is not about that. She is going to go down with this ship. She is being nasty and cutting and vicious and biting to her parents. And Carissa is threatening her with the boot camp in Oregon, which I was like, why would you ever? Why would you? First of all, I wouldn't even threaten that. I would much rather you threaten to slap your daughter's jaws until they ring like fire bells. I would rather you do them empty threats than to threaten to send your baby away to one of these boot camps where they like to rape and abuse them and leave them for dead in the hot sun or hot boxes, or have the other kids beat on them. Ain't no way in the world I send my child to another state for somebody else to mistreat them. No, you gonna get mistreated right here in your own home first, okay? With these hands. No ma'am. No ma'am. And I didn't like that. But I can see where they at their wits end with Zora. Anyway, she going to wait in the car. We see Grace, and this is the thing. The Greenleafs have a huge mansion. All the bedrooms got their own living room as well. So all the bedrooms are like apartments. I think we remember this from when Kevin and Aaron was making out on that sofa in front of that bed, and they supposed to be watching baby Nathan. They done slipped over there into the bedroom. The sofa right here and the bed is right there, baby. It is a temptation moment. Anyway, Darius in there sitting in her living room, and she is slightly bugging or nagging him about coming to church, and people gonna want to know why you haven't been at church and all of that. I was like, more traditional, blah blah blah, more traditional church, blah blah blah. You gotta be at church every Sunday in order to be saved. You know, but the Bible does say, forsake not the assembly of yourselves. My thing is that you knew when you dated a man who don't have the same belief system as you do, this was going to be an issue. So now why are you trying to change him? This don't make no sense. You need to date somebody who believe the same thing you believe. You don't find this well, you don't find this a lot in other cultures. All right. You can't force religion down this man's throat. Plus he ain't no good no way. Anywho, so that's Grace. We did Jacob. And Bishop, like I said, is trying to work quietly behind the scenes to get Lady Mae back. He really wants Lady Mae back. He does really seem like he is hurt about the whole Lady Mae situation and her leaving. Okay, so soiree starts. It's going real good. We got a whole host of characters. Clara is there. Connie is there. Connie is always sharp. Okay, Lady Mae is there, and she got her fan, and she is being cordial and help yourselves, make yourselves at home. And she has told Bishop, I don't know what it is you think you're doing, but I mean what I say. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm over it. I'm done. Okay, so Bishop calls court. He has everybody, you know, clink, 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 the glasses of hot apple juice, and he has everybody gather around. Zora standing there looking like Apollonia 6. And she got her boyfriend there, Roberto. You know, Roberto don't say much. He's a cute little fella, though. Sophia's there, and Jacob, and all the kids, and everybody, and Clara. And Clara's buzzing around here and there, too. And she's talking to people. And Connie is talking to people. It is a soiree where he wants to have a little bit of conversation. Ding, 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 ding. Gather around, everyone. Gather around. And he goes into his soliloquy about Lady Mae and how he met her. And how his life was nothing. It was meaningless. It was going nowhere because he didn't have nobody. And the Lord sent old Percy, and Percy put them two together. And ever since then, his life has been good. He has been warm. He has been sheltered. And he hopes to have another 40 years. It's very emotional. He cries and she cries. And and it's in this moment where she says to herself, I could see it in her face, because at first when he was talking, she was like, where is this going? But he touched her hard. He pricked her hard. This is what she wanted to hear. That you love me. That you appreciate me. That you see my value and my worth here. Huh? This means something to me. She's teared up. He's teared up. Like I said, Sophia's standing out there. She's getting emotional. You know, Sophia is very sensitive anyway. Like I said, she's standing out there looking like Apollonia 6 when Prince threw her in the lake Minnetonka. Anyway, so that might have been vanity he threw in Lake Minnetonka, but I digress. Anyway, he calls the whole family up, and they all stand around where he makes his declaration. And it is a moment. It is planned to the T. It is perfect, Bishop. Okay, and she's feeling a special kind of love until we see walking up through the crowd. Now, previously, she had sent her regrets, and that's Rachel Cross. But we see she done showed up. Okay, and she is there in the crowd clapping like, all, you know, with disdain and discourse in her face, right? And so when everybody goes on and leaves Bishop, and people come by and they're like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's just so good to see black love. And my pastor's love, the first lady, is so wonderful. And when everybody walk off, she tells him, look, You need to get rid of that heifer. Why is she here? Okay, I thought she wasn't supposed to be here. He said, I don't know why she here. She said, well, you need to make her poof be gone. He was like, cool, fine, I'll take care of it. So, meanwhile, Rachel Cross is over there talking to Darius and Clara and Grace. And she acts so familiar with them. To me, that's what makes her suspicious. The fact that she acts so familiar. Grace, I am not leaving here until I steal some of those clothes out of your closet. I was like, girl, you don't go to hell. You don't go to hell with all that fake phony talk. I don't like that. To me, that's more suspicious than anything, okay? You too familiar. You too common with me, all right? And I done accuse you of trying to push up on my daddy. Why is you here? Why is you here? Why is you here with this type of conversation? Meanwhile, she was like, okay, Grace, who is this? Is this Bae? And, you know, Darius is like, I was like, why is his eyes moving back and forth? He seemed a little shifted to me. You seem like you might have a little guilt in your spirit, Darius. What's going on, huh? What's happening with you, huh? I got my good eye on you, Darius. I got a sneaky suspicion you working with these doggone skanks. And when I find out that you are, in fact, working with these skanks, baby, you gonna get a read, okay? Like none other. That same color lips and face. I was like, I don't like the way he all the same color like that. He pisses me off. I was like, you need a little shift in your color so I can see some facial definition. You know. And Grace be running around looking like sister and brother. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so Bishop goes and asks Cross to come over and he gonna talk to her. And so he pulls her off to the side. She was like, Bishop, have I done anything wrong? He was like, what are you doing here? I thought I told you I needed space. And she was like, I have given you space. Oh, so you got a little bit of attitude. Now you done eased up in his face and told him. Done turned it around. And listen, this is what people do. This is why you're not supposed to let your good be evil spoken of. Because everything he has said to her, no matter how simple, even if it is that the fact that he don't wanna deal with her no more. He want his space. He want to go back and try to rebuild things with Lady Mae. She's taken all of these conversations and played it out to him like he pulling her back and forth. She said he called her over to the Biltmore to meet him. I was like, oh, you ain't say that, Bishop. You act like you went over there to her place, that she was living in the Biltmore. Okay. She said you pulled her up close like you want to kiss her. Then you push her away. She said she just don't know what it is. She knows what she wants. She in love with you, but she don't know what you want. He was like, I want you to leave. So, of course, she walks out and storms. She don't really storm out, but you can tell she had a walk of determination when she went past Lady Mae and Miss Clara talking in the vestibule. So, when Bishop walked through, Lady Mae, him and Lady Mae got on the other side of the wall, and Lady Mae had changed her emotions. Now she was feeling the love. She was feeling like, I think she was going to change her mind slightly. And then when this whole Rochelle Cross situation happened, when she showed up, she changed her mind. She was like, it ain't me you want. It's this tart, this tramp, this trollop. Okay, this old scallywag. Okay, so yeah, you gonna be with her. We gonna continue on with the plan as usual. Well, prior to all of this, she had asked when Darius and Clara and Grace was all standing around before Bishop came to get her. She had asked Clara if she wanted to donate to one of Grace's defense funds. And she said, well, no, she's got other obligations to the church right now. She can't do it. I was like, Clara, you got a way of telling stuff without telling stuff. People need to learn some shut mouth grace. I would have been like, okay, well, we'll talk about that at another time. We've got a fabulous function here. Grace, I'll get with you about that later. Okay? Then I just wouldn't have called her. I gave her $50, $150. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a better way to handle it. That's what I'm saying. Anyway. Y'all know how people do. Anyway. So after Bishop asked her and to leave and all of that, before she leave on her way out, you know, finances never sleep. And Clara's like, you leaving already? Finances never sleep, Clara. Can I talk to you for a moment? So she tells Clara that she asked Clara what kind of business she had with the bishop and first lady, and Clara said she couldn't tell. I can't tell you. She said, you sure you won't tell me? She said, no. She said, well, listen, I love myself some bishop, but I wouldn't be a decent financing manager if I didn't tell you to keep an eye on your money and make sure you involve your finance people at all times, just to protect yourself and keep yourself safe. So you done put a bug in Clara's ear. Huh? That's what you did. You thwarted them getting this tax money. Yeah, okay. All right, Rachel. You on task, that's for sure. Everybody might be falling short on their job, baby, but you stay on your job, and I got to give you that much. So she go on out. Meanwhile, when the party first started, Kevin come in with Aaron. They dressed like regular everyday folks. Now he can't stay in that apartment, and he done came around there to look for Charity. Where's Charity? Charity says she on tour, but she not answering the call. Is she here? He said he called Jabari, and Jabari says she ain't on tour. So where is she? Is she here? She's not here. And so she see he getting upset. She said, well, let me call her. Let me call her. So when she calls, Charity answer the phone. Charity sitting poolside, ordering her a Georgia peach. That's peach schnapps. That's made with peach schnapps, for those of you who don't know. And so, yeah. And she said, well, she answered the phone. So, hello. Grace said, Charity, how are you? I'm fine. Where are you? She said, where are you? I'm on tour. Well, okay. Kevin is here, and he is looking for you and baby Nate. And he say he called Jabari, and Jabari say you not on tour. She was like, I'm minding my business. He went and off and did his thing, and now I'm doing mine. And she said, where's Nathan? Don't act like that, Grace. Don't get all self-righteous with me. And please don't act like they don't have professional sitters to look after your child for you. And Kevin is in the background saying, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. And as soon as he says Charity, she hangs the phone up. Okay. So he decides he gonna call the police. And Grace said, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just give her a minute. Give her some time, which I agree with. Then she tells Aaron, please don't let him call the police. Please don't. He said, I don't know what I can do, but I'll try. Like I said, the whole soiree is going on. We see Zora talking to Apollonia 6, aka Vanity, aka Sophia. And she's telling her how the dad thinks that Jacob thinks that she's stolen some monies and things of that nature, and she didn't really steal it. Well, where did you get the money you was gonna give me to buy the cell phone from, Zora? And she was like, well, it was from my leftover from my birthday money. Now she has turned into quite the liar. Okay, she lies at the drop of a hat. Okay, she is in full spin out mode. She's in full rebellion mode. And when you got a child that lie and steal, you got a problem on your hands. You got to do some serious. She needs to be deprogrammed because she out of control. Well, Sophia's gonna go down to the pond to walk around with Roberto. She asked Zora to come. Zora don't come. We see Sophia in her car with Roberto, and they supposed to be looking up through the sunroof. All right, but we already know this ain't nothing but an opportunity to be fingered. That's all this is. This what happens. This what happens, especially in church settings. Right before y'all go to straight up doing it, y'all getting familiar with each other's body. Now she leaned in to kiss him first. As a matter of fact, she had her lips puckered before he even saw that she wanted to kiss. They go to kissing. Next thing you know, he crawling his hands up her skirt. Now, I noticed when he crawled his hand up her skirt, she felt some type of way. This human nature, this human body. Her body responding to his body. What he doing to her feels good. It's something she ain't never really felt before like that, especially from somebody else. She might have felt it from herself. She might have touched herself, but it ain't nothing like a strong pair of hands touching you and he kissing you. All of this gets the engine going. All of this gets you going, gets you to a place where you getting hot and bothered. And she and she kind of sinks into it, and then she realizes, ooh, trick, you is about to get, you about to end up losing your virginity in the front seat of this Buick, girl. So she said, well, let's stop, let's go back inside. And he said, well, I think I'm gonna go home. Well, why are you leaving? You don't have to leave so soon. You don't be mad. He was like, I'm not mad, I'm just leaving. Well, he is mad. He is mad because you let him get the hand up there. If you had to stop that hand right there at the thigh, if you had broke that hand off right there at the thigh, you would have never felt that hand. Because now going forward, you're going to want to feel that hand again. I promise you, you're not going to forget how he made you feel. Once you get them engines down there going, it's like smelling gasoline. You got to smell it one more time. You ever sniff gasoline? You be like, oh, I should do this. But yeah, that's the same thing. It's the same thing, I feel. Anyway, so yeah. So when she get back inside, she tells Zora's in her room and she's on her laptop. She on the MacBook. And so Zora was like, oh, well, I was just checking on something. Like I said, she's a professional liar now. She lies at just the simplest thing is a lie for her. Now, meanwhile, Jacob has had conversations with Carissa during the party. He don't want her to be sent off somewhere to these white folks places in Oregon and leave his baby out there for them to beat her to death and leave her in the hot sun to die. He don't want her to be raped in the middle of the night by other kids. He don't want none of that. He don't want her to come back worse than what she did. But Carissa's like, no, they'll deprogram her and it'll be structured and counseling and classes. I was like, girl, that's what the brochure say. But I promise you they will beat your baby within an inch of their life. I promise you they will. You don't send your baby to places like that. You can't keep your eye on them. They don't come home at nighttime. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Anyway, Lady May sees all of this, and later on she asks Jacob what's going on, and he tells her that she had been stealing. And so she said, why don't you bring her here and let me stay with her? Now, this is what my people did. Now, you could go to Granny's house, or you can go to a cousin's house or something like that to get your mind right, to keep your mama from snapping your neck. But you couldn't, you didn't get sent away. Number one, our parents couldn't afford it. Neither can Jacob and Carissa either, by the way. And then number two, no, we don't ship our babies away like that. You can go for a summer, okay, to get away, all right, but you ain't going away like that. And so, you know, it's a partially good idea, but Zora gonna be there collecting all the information that go on between Bishop and Lady May. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a big house and a lot of luxury. How she gonna keep up with Zora? It's a nice idea, but I don't know. Anyway, so when Sophia comes back, she says, I think Roberto wants to have sex. And Zora was like, what? The nerve. And she was like, Sophia was like, I know, right? She was like, I'm kidding. You're so square. Like, you're so busy trying to be, you know, God's little angel and convince everybody that, you know what I'm saying, you're not allowing yourself to be cool, you know? And she was like, well, no, I want to save myself to marriage. And look, I want to show you what the Bible says about it. This is what she's talking about right here, girl. And so she pulls up the MacBook and she sees that she's actually chatting with Isaiah, the abuser. And she gets upset and she, you know, tells her, he hits you. Why are you with him, Zora? And the argument get heated. She ends up calling Isaiah a pile of trash, which makes Zora mad. So Zora calls her God's little bee. And Sophia's like, what? And I was like, oh, Sophia gets mad? Oh, I didn't know that, baby. I did not know she could be provoked to anger. Yeah, I just didn't see it for Sophia. Even before she got baptized and got saved, she was like, I am saved and I love the Lord. What's so wrong with that? And of course, you know, Zora just lets her have it about being a goody two-shoes. And I've said something about Sophia kind of being a goody two-shoes, but you don't let nobody shame you. You don't let nobody shame you. I like the way she stood up for herself. And when they got up and got in each other's face, and Zora say, I ought to slap your face right now. And Sophia say, okay, do it. I double dog dare you. Let's see how well he taught you. I was like, ooh. Baby, not only do she get mad, baby, but she throws shade, heavenly shade. Zora was like, ooh, yeah, she stung you with that tongue, didn't she, Zora? Ooh, she stung her hard. So they get the shoulder wrestling. You know how they do on TV. In walks Carissa. What is going on with the two of you? She sees that MacBook open there. And she says, were you on this computer? Is this you? She looks at Sophia. Was she on that computer? And Sophia was like, I was about to kick her behind for a whole nother reason. And so she looks at it and she sees that Isaiah and Zora are talking about when she turns 18, she gonna be up out of that house and be done with Jacob and Carissa and their rules. And she was like, and Carissa said, you are not leaving when you're 18. That is not happening. And Sophia's like, you cannot stop me because I will be an adult and poof, be gone. And she went to do that finger like this. Let me tell you something. And Carissa grabbed that wrist and was like, if you don't put your out, listen. Oh, I will take this finger and shove it so far up your nose and tickle your brain with it, okay? You don't understand who you dealing with. The last thing you want to do is put your hand in my face, okay? That's not gonna happen. And so Zora went ahead and said something else and stormed off. And Carissa is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So they decide to go ahead and leave Zora with Lady May. Lady May gonna bring her under submission, or so she think. But see, Zora got her mind made up. She got her mind made up. And she one of them children that she got to learn the hard way. She got to really, really, really learn the hard way. You know, and it's very little they're going to be able to do to bring her back. I'm telling you, until she hit that bottom, all you can do is pray that the Lord protect her and keep her. Okay, because she gonna do what she want to do, and you ain't gonna be able to see her everywhere all the time, every place. But at least keep her in the same city if you can, so you can go get her when she left in the dumpster somewhere in a heap, crying and can't get home. Happens every day. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we see where Connie mentions that she saw Kevin. Where's Kevin? And Grace was like, why you want Kevin? She was like, I want to talk to him about why he not at church. His baby here, his wife here, but he ain't here. You worry about the wrong thing. You worry about the wrong thing, Connie. But she tells Connie, well, maybe if you join the coalition of churches that's accepting of the LGBTQ community, he will come back. He'll feel included. She was like, well, he can come back and come back anytime he wants to, but he can't be around here flaunting his gayness. Well, that's the problem. And she tells Grace, after Grace gives her this little speech, she was like, when are you going to learn not to be an agitator for every underdog except Jesus? And she said, Grace said, Jesus is the underdog. It's true, girl. It is true. It is true. He did walk amongst them now. He did do that now. So yeah, later on Connie goes to her office and the business is out. Everything is out about Calvary, and the Greenleaf's been implicated in this tax situation, and Connie wants to talk to Grace about possibly taking over if something happens to Bishop and Lady May, taking over as head pastor. And it's something for Grace to think about. I was like, Grace, girl, you got a lot of work to do before you go to pastoring a flock. Anyway, so we see Charity. Charity is at the bar. She got the baby Nate at the bar. They in the bar. She at the piano and she's singing I Will Survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. In walks the cops. She drinking yet another Georgia peach. Much like them Brandy Alexanders that Lady May had last week. She is teared up and crying, and the police want her to come with them. You know why? Because she done took that baby across state lines. She done took that baby against Kevin's will. And this is how the episode closes. Now, I'm not going to get into this whole Charity Kevin situation. If we doing tit for tat, that's what's going on. They doing tit for tat. He left and left the baby. She left and took the baby. You know what I'm saying? we're going to see exactly how well this works out. I think we all know how this is going to work out. If you're not doing what's best for baby Nate, then you in the wrong. Just point blank, period. No matter who you are. We're going to leave it right there. Lady May, I'm going to tell you right now, if you roll over and let this woman take your husband or put salt in you and your husband game, you a fool. You a fool. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would tell her she wasn't welcome back at that church. That's what I would tell her. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, y'all need to, like y'all rallied around and got rid of Kevin and shunned Kevin, y'all need to rally around and shun doggone Rachel Cross. Okay, because Rachel Cross going too far. Because Clara tells Lady May before she leaves, before I write a check, I want us all sit down with my money people and make sure everything is on the up and up. This is before she leave the party. So Lady May looking real worried. And you should be looking real. First of all, you're trying to get this money from this lady under false pretenses. And I don't even know if there's a plan to be paid back. It ain't a bad idea to sit down with a money man. But if you had a talk with the lady about this from the get-go, about paying her back in installments and things like that, we wouldn't have this issue. You think this lady just finna give you $2 million? No. Darius is slick. He up to no good. The way his eyes was moving all shiftily, he up to no good. Sophia, aka Vanity 6, aka Apollonia 6. That was good. That was a good little squabble they had. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below, you guys. That's Greenleaf. Until next time, if I forgot anything, put it down below, you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holla.